Hi Christine, how are you?
Good.
Today I'm going to show you my new translucent embossing paste. This is my new one for this show. And I have several samples done to show you what it looks like after you use it. So this is the first sample. I used my polka dot stencil and I spread the translucent paste through the stencil. Then I let that dry. After the paste was dry, then I took Tim's Distress Paints and I just used my blending tool and kind of pounced it on to put the color on. Then I let that dry. After that was dry, I put the stencil back on, and then I used my potting soil brand new archival ink from Ranger to stamp over the polka dots. And if you look at this, the stamping is only on the raised areas. So when you put the stencil back on, it kind of masks off the background and you only stamp on the raised areas. So that's one way to use the translucent paste. This is another little sample. So I used my red geranium archival ink to stencil the flower, and I used fern green to stencil the leaves and the stem. And when I had everything completely done, then I went back and put the stencil back in place and added the translucent paste just over the flower to highlight the flower. So that's another way to use the paste. This was a fun one. I used fern green to stencil the leaves and the potting soil to stencil the tree trunk and the branches. And once that was dry, then I spread translucent paste kind of randomly over the background. So you'll see there's some areas that are just the raw art part material. And then you'll see some texture in here. So what I did was I spread the translucent paste over the top, and then I took one of my background stamps, misted it with water, and then stamped into the wet paste. So when it dries, you can see it actually dries with texture. And I'm not sure if you can see the little words in there, but it's actually very, very textured. So that's another fun way to use it. This is another example, same as the first one, where I put my translucent paste on, let that dry, went over it with Tim's Distress Paints, and then stamped on it again. This time I think I used my cornflower blue archival ink, so just a different color combo. And then this one was a really fun one. I just started with my art parts base, and then I put my translucent paste through the Yikes Stripe stencil. While the paste was still wet, I took Tim's Distress Stains and I put them in a mister, and I misted the wet paste, and then I dried it with the heat tool. And what happens is the heat actually cooked the color into the paste, which I think was really, really cool too. So that's my 5 little samples. Thank you.